This is hemming technique number 3, and this is a turned under and hand stitched using a slip stitch. So from the wrong side of the fabric you can't see any stitching at all really. If you look inside there you might just see where I've done my hand stitching inside here, and then from the right side it's completely invisible. This is really difficult technique to do if you've got a lightweight fabric, so it's best to do it on something that's a bit thicker, like this sort of this is like a woolen fabric that I've used. If you try and do it on a lighter weight fabric, then it's almost impossible to hide your stitching and you'll be able to see the stitches from the right side. This hemming technique is going to be hand finished, so I'm going to start in the same way as I did the turn twice and machine stitched hem, and I'm going to start by turning this under by 3 centimetres. It's quite difficult to see which is the right and which is the wrong side of this fabric, but I am turning it up as before, so my wrong sides are being folded together. And then just press that to give yourself a nice crease. Take my pins back out again, and then you can open up and then fold the raw edge in to meet the crease, and then fold that over. And you want to make sure that this width is even all the way along, and you can pin that and press it, or in the case of this, because it's just a small sample, I can just press it without having to pin. Might need to put a bit of steam in just to give it a good press. I'm going to use a hand slip stitch to just stitch this edge closed, and I'll show you how that's done. I've threaded up a needle with some thread that you can see. If this was a garment I was making, I would use a purple or a thread shade to match my fabric, but I want to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. So I've just tied a knot in one end, and there's a loose end there, so I haven't completely tied the thread together. I'm going to just start by coming through the fold here, so coming through the fold, leaving the knot inside that fold. Then I'm just going to take a small stitch into the fabric, so it's enough to pick up a thread, but I don't want to be going all the way through to the right side of the fabric. And then I'm going to go back into the fold, pretty much where I came out, and go along by about 1 centimetre. And then repeat. So I'm going to just pick up a thread of the fabric, go back into the fold, stitch along about 1 centimetre, come back out, and then carry on. So picking up a thread here on the fabric, so from the right side you can't see where I'm sewing. Then go back into that fold and carry on for about 1 centimetre. So I'm going to do that all the way along till I get to the end. once you get to the end, you can just make a couple of stitches and then cut your threads. So you can see from the inside, even though I stitched in yellow, you can barely see those threads at all. From the right side there, you've got a really inconspicuous hem finish. Now that my hand finishing is complete, I just need to edge finish with pinking shears and my sample is finished.